Recently, Sam Ohuabunwa, immediate past president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria and founder of Neimeth International Pharmaceuticals PLC, formally informed the People's Democratic Party of his intention to contest the presidential election next year. Following Ohuabunwa's declaration, he will be joining a growing list of presidential hopefuls on the platform of the main opposition party. Now joining us to provide insight into what he will be bringing to the table if he's given the chance to lead Nigeria and his chances of clinching the ticket of the PDP in what is expected to be a keen contest is Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, renowned pharmacist and businessman turned politician. Good morning, Mazi Ohuabunwa, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Yes,
pleasure to be here.
Why do you want to be president of Nigeria? Is it because you think the time is ripe for Igbo presidency, or because you think you can make a difference?
Essentially because I think I can make a difference. I believe that our country has been in a conundrum, moving around in a circle, not attaining the kind of growth, the kind of economic prosperity, the kind of global competitiveness that we have expected of the country. And therefore, I believe I'll make a difference because I think the country needs a leader that understands how we can propel our country to unleash all the potential for creative accomplishments, to take the country to become a productive nation where we can deal with the lingering issue of poverty, to be able to deal with lingering issues of joblessness, and sometimes getting to hopelessness. A country so blessed as Nigeria is, there ought to be a true leader in terms of contributing to global growth, economic growth, creating a nation where people live in happiness. We've come to find that we have a nation where there's so much insecurity, so much pain, and I can't continue to watch. So I think I need to make the difference by bringing all that I have received in life, all the training, all the experiences I've had in wealth creation, in building diversity, to be able to unite our country and be able to promote a high level of economic development for our nation. Because our problem is essentially poverty. And of course, you have the other issues of injustice, inequity, and corruption and insecurity. But the principal thing is, how do we make Nigeria a producing nation, a well-created nation that can feed its people and be able to provide support to the rest of the world and earn foreign exchange in a diversified manner, not just depending on oil, because so much we have in this country can earn us foreign exchange, from human intellect to arts and culture, to agriculture, to manufactured products. We have everything. We have solid minerals. But what we've been able to understand how we can create an investment heaven that will attract a lot of people to bring investments into the country, and those who are in the country to raise their stake. And then we can become the industrial hub for Africa, which I believe is possible.
I asked also about the Igbo agenda.
Yeah.
Because you've been quoted as saying that this is a way of showing that Igbos also have candidates, our aspirants.
Yeah, I haven't come because I am Igbo. I've come because I feel I'm a competent Nigerian who has lived in this nation, been trained, who has had the privileges of enjoying a good nation. But I'm seeing that the country we're leaving behind for our children is not the country our own parents left for us. So we need to change the story, change the narrative. Of course, in Nigeria, everybody speaks about equity, justice, and fair play. And in the party that I am part of, which is PDP, rotation of power is part of their part of what they've agreed to do. In Nigeria, we speak about power sharing, we talk about rotation, we talk about federal character. These things speak about how to build, ownership in a country where you have diverse people, diverse cultures, diverse ethnic, diverse religion. It makes sense to often plan how you can ensure that every section of the country has an opportunity. And today, there is a large pool of opinion that believes that the Southeast ought to be given an opportunity to produce the president. But I'm not here because of that. If it happens, that's nice. But if not, I am ready to compete with the best in the country.
Right, so your credentials as a businessman are known, which is why you're really stressing the economic development for Nigeria. But tell us a bit about your political news, how you would manage, inspire, and unify Nigerians. How would you go about that? What is your structure like across the country?
Well, first and foremost, I've been in the country. I've run organizations that are multi-faceted. I have been involved in the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, in running man as chairman, president of NECA. So I've dealt with our country, understand the country. I've served in several presidential committees, several task forces, several boards. I've played advisory role. I was involved in Fashion Vision 2010, 2020, Nigerian Political Reform Conference, when he knows what I'm talking about. So we have understood how this country runs. We know the history and how the original First Republic leaders of our country, who at the beginning, how they formatted this country, how they agreed to relate to each other. There was a constitution from 1959 to 63 to 79 to all the. So the country was built on a basis where we understood our diverse nature as a nation, and we have worked there to relate to it. But somewhere along the road, the relationship was broken. So what we're trying to do is, with the experience we've had, to cause a country to come back to one. And to do that, what you need to do is to have opportunity for the owners of the nation to decide how they want to run their country. Then you ensure there's justice, equity, and fair play, that every child born into this country feels he is a citizen of the country. We don't give the impression that are third, second class or third class of people who are preferred. And that is a sign of what is lacking today. The moment you have any opportunity to enthrone justice, fairness, equity, we will be able to deal with the issues of the problem. The new Nigeria group, which we have set out, we have a 6-stage structure where we're selling that Nigeria can become a first world and also a globally competitive nation, and that can also be a country that works for all. Works for the North, works for the South, works for the East, works for the West. Works for the poor, works for the rich, works for the strong, works for the weak. In our system today, this country is not working for everybody. It's working for some special people. Others are ignored. Others are as if they were just passengers in a boat. We need to be sensitive to the need of the different peoples that constitute our country. Is it demography? Is it ethnic? Look at our youth. We have a joblessness rate of about 53% in the youth population. And there's just no hope. When we went to school, on scholarship, I finished school in July. In June, I was working. 3 months after today work, I was given a car loan. After that, I changed and got to start to work in Pfizer. 3 months I joined Pfizer. Pfizer gave me a car. As a young pharmacist, I had 3 cars in my garage. Today, there's no opportunity for a young man to get a job in 5 years, not to talk of getting a car or building a house, because we don't have mortgage, we don't have opportunity to get lease, and opportunity for young people to be fully employed and not just working for people, but exercise their creativity and create jobs. So we're going to come with that type of mindset to mobilize our people, create opportunities for economic expression. So the new Nigeria group is our political movement, but we're taking that into our new party, into our party, PDP, so that working with the new Nigeria group and the People's Democratic Party, we can take back our country and restore it to its manifest destiny.
Okay, I showed that a bit when you said you were part of the crafting of Vision 2010, because it was a massive failure, and we can see the failure everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know granularly, what are you going to do to address the problem of illiteracy and education in this country with massive out-of-school children numbers? Yeah. And that's why I showed it when you said you were part of Vision 2010. Because it failed. It's not something to brag about.
Yeah, it's not. No.
And secondly, I'd like to ask,
yeah,
why is that? Why PDP? Why are you joining the PDP, the same party that Nigerians rejected in 2015? Why the PDP?
Okay, let me take the issue of Vision. Vision 2010 was completed, but it was never implemented. So that's why it failed. Crafting the vision, and those who implement a different thing. Ours was advisory. We finished the crafting division. President Abacha, the head of state Abacha, died. And the succeeding president didn't want to touch the Vision 2010. he's decided to go for a medium-term economic development strategy, which is the NEET. It's when when Yar'Adua came back, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group started pushing again, because if a country that does not have a uniting vision, that country will make a sustainable success, because all our energies are not directed towards achieving a particular goal. So we have always said there's a vision. A lack of vision is part of our problem today. This country has no vision now. I don't know where we're going, unless you know. Now, the issue of why PDP. There are two parties in this country that I believe are leading parties. All over the world, you have two major parties in most jurisdictions, PDP, APC. Now, for all we know in our country, there is really no ideology, no political ideology. People do what they desire to do when they have office. Because if you ask me what is being done today, I don't think it's the APC ideology. Because we read their manifesto. What is in the manifesto is not what they're doing. So, and people who are in PDP, some have moved to APC, some in APC have moved to PDP. So political platforms in Nigeria, political parties in Nigeria are essentially an opportunity to get to the levers of power and then implement what you believe is right, depending on who you're dealing with. So Nigerians don't like APC, they don't like PDP. They rejected PDP in 2015, but they may accept them. That's what happens everywhere. They try this, they try that, and they find that maybe one is better than the other. I don't think that any Nigerian today, if you gave them PDP or APC, not any Nigerian, most Nigerians would see that when PDP was in power, we recorded some growth. There was double-digit growth. Nigeria became the leading economy in Africa. We had education improvement to the extent that we even had schools built for itinerant Fulani, nomadic Fulani schools. Those schools are abandoned now. Education is frontal, is critical. No country will succeed if it does not pay attention to education. Education is the highest investment, because what makes any economy, what makes any community, what makes any nation move is the people. And the people, the greatest investment in the people is education and healthcare. And when you give them education, you are preparing for a future, because through education, you prepare the capacity of the people, not just ordinary human numbers, but people have capacity who have been trained to learn how to solve problems. The essence of education is learn how to solve problems. In our own time, we'll not just solve problems, but everybody that goes to school will learn how to solve problems, learn how to create wealth. It doesn't matter what you read, whether you read history, education, you read classics, you read Igbo, you read Yoruba, you will use Yoruba, Igbo, Christian religious knowledge to learn how to create wealth. There are problems and opportunities within your profession that if you put investment behind, it will create wealth. So we don't, I have proposed in our master plan that in your final year in the university or in a tertiary institution, instead of this 1 year people spend, say they are doing a project, you would do business plan. Every graduating student will come out with 2 business plans. And when you come out with those business plans, you approach a small business development authority will have set up to look at your plans and decide which of them is more fungible and give you an aid to go and do a market test. If you do a market test and that product is sellable, then you are led to a funding organization. You get equity, venture capital, or loans, either bilateral, multilateral, or development loan to help you start your business. Government will be interested in business, not the way where it looks like we are begging government to be interested in business. And most times they become impediment to business. They give you multiple tax, they create impediments for you. And that's the greatest problem, because I have said that solving Nigeria's economic problem, which is at the root of corruption, is at the root of several other things, starts with understanding how to attract investment. So it creates an investment-friendly environment. Investments will flow. Those investments will create programs, will create businesses, will create projects like this. These projects, businesses, and programs will create jobs. Jobs will create wealth, and wealth will diminish poverty. It's a straight line relationship between investment and poverty elimination. It's not doling, it's not dancing around. And it's not the work of government to employ people. Government is to stimulate, support, motivate the private sector. And that private sector will create the businesses and the projects and programs which will now hire people. Those who hired will create wealth, and the wealth is distributed and poverty is eliminated. Okay. That's our central pursuit. This is why Nigeria is where it is. Investment is not coming. We're dependent on oil for our foreign exchange, and we're not earning substantial foreign exchange from anywhere else. Whereas we can earn foreign exchange from our dance, from our drama, from our arts, from our culture. Somebody like this guy, his intellectual output, Ruben, can't be, I mean, look at India. India is, today, most of the people leading the Fortune 500 in America are Indian origin because they had a policy of producing for the domestic market and then producing intellectual property for export, in quotes. And that's what we need to do. We have Nigerians who are wasting, underutilized professors who have done so well, whom we can get to do great things and sell to the world. They're just allowed to waste.
Well, Mazi, I can relate to your position on Vision 2010. I was a member of that Vision 2010 committee myself. And after that, we had Vision 2020. We have all these fora where we hold talks, but nothing follows.
That's it.
And that's not likely to change, even if we talk about Agenda 2050. But I wanted to ask you about the issue of attire.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, people will see it as though it's a national, symbol of green, white, green. But if you look at the embroidery, there's NNG there, New Nigeria Group, which was established in 2019.
Exactly.
Right? So maybe you talk about the attire and why you have NNG on your, chest pocket.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, why the PDP?
Okay.
Because, you are at best a nominal member of the party. You're just coming in and you're asking for the big prize in the party. Yeah. People have been there since.
Yeah.
People like Senator Ayim Pals, Ayim and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and others who will still show up. How do you hope to compete with them? Okay. They've been in the party, since the beginning.
Yeah. Ruben, I have been in the party since 1999.
Okay.
I joined the party with my younger brother, Senator Mao, who went to the House. All of us in our family joined because that was our political front. And we aided him to join the party. I worked with him. He went to the House twice, went to the Senate. We've been with him. All the boards, I've served in 10 federal boards, state boards. I was chairman of Abia Polytechnic, chairman of Abia University Hospital. Today, I'm still chairman of Abia Public-Private Sector Investment Promotion Council. Those jobs don't come if you're not political and if you're not supportive. What I have not done is competitive politics, personally. But I've been involved in politics. They know me in my state, they know me and they know me nationally, but I'm not competitive. So that's the issue. I'm not a newcomer to PDP. And secondly, sir, PDP needs a new face. Nigerian politics needs a new face. It needs a visionary leader, a competent leader, a leader of character, a leader that has courage. Because we've lacked sufficient dose of competence, courage, and character, and also vision. So PDP will be happy to see people like us who have been part of the party, but we've played supportive role. We've generated ideas, that's why all the vision I spoke about, the economic summit. We've been at the summit, we've done all that to support governance. But like you just said, it just hasn't happened. That's my motivation and my frustration. That if I've done this for 30, 40 years, supporting, producing documents, strategies on how to take our country from a third world to a first world, and it hasn't happened, I think I better come and do it. So that's the motivation. I'm not completely new in the party. And I also think that our party, like any party that wants to impress Nigerians, must bring something fresh. Nigerians are tired of some of these people who have been there. They've done well, but there's always a time. Every kingdom has an end. Every fad has an end. Every fashion has an end. That regime is coming to an end. Nigeria is looking for something new, and I'm offering something new. About my dress, we are sold on the concept of a new Nigeria. New Nigeria. You see, people have lost hope about their country. So, haven't lost hope, some out of feeling of injustice, perceived or real, some lack of economic opportunities. So they just feel unhappy about the country. So they take it out on the country. Those who can escape, escape. Many Nigerians are running away from the country. Some who are here, especially the younger people, decide to make themselves available to be used by those who can give them short-term gratification. But we're saying, please do not lose hope. A new Nigeria is about to be birthed. Every civilization has an end and a beginning. We're about to recreate Nigeria. We're about to rebirth a new Nigeria that will be globally competitive, that will pursue poverty to its conclusive end, that will make sure that our country becomes a respected nation globally. We're not just the end of the butt of jokes. We come, every human development index, every comparative index in the world, we're at the bottom. I mean, that must end. So the new Nigeria is what this says we're promoting, we're branding what we're talking about, that a new Nigeria is possible. And we're asking all Nigerians to have hope, because everything comes to an end. The suffering, the wickedness, the inequities, the injustices that we are facing, even the insecurity, will come to an end. And it's coming very close, because there's a circle. My Bible says there are seasons. There are seasons. There are times and seasons. The time of suffering of Nigeria, we're getting to the peak. This is the peak.
That's from Ecclesiastes.
Yes, you got it. We got to the peak. So we're about to go down and part a new thing. And we are the symbol of that new Nigeria. So in our address, in our communication, in our discourse, we're saying, Nigerians, be hopeful. Look forward to 2023. Do not waste this opportunity. The opportunity God is giving to us is to present a new face, a new group of leaders who understand Nigeria and who have what it takes to turn Nigeria around and change the story and the narrative, and make all of us feel happy to belong to the nation. You carry a green passport, we should all be proud that this is a green passport. But we're not going to get respect by demanding it. We're not going to get respect by legislating it. We're going to respect that we are global players. First, we respect ourselves at home. We build the dignity of Nigerian. The Nigerian is well fed and well looked after. There is law, justice, and equity. We keep educational and health systems such that can compete with the rest of the world. When I was in the US in 1986, that started the border for me in Nigeria, they said, Mazi Sam, they asked which university do you went? I said, I went to University of Ife. They said, University of Ife, where? I said, in Nigeria. Are there good universities in Nigeria? I said, many. UI, ABU, and all that. So they're calling them.
No, University of Calabar.
Then they said, do you mean there are smart guys like you? I said, there are millions. Then they say, why is your country the way it is? This was in 1986. I attended a sales manager, international sales manager. I was group sales manager for Pfizer then. Why is your country the way it is? You have good schools. You have smart people like you. That is the burden I have carried. That year I came back. I landed at the Minister Mohammed Airport. I began to see the difference between my Mohammed Airport and JFK that I left. I began to see the difference between the carpet, the toilet, and all that. Since then, I've gone to 60 countries. And each place I went, I said, when will my country be like this?
Wow, if I may, because we're running out of time. It's the burning, do you want to say something? It's the burning issue du jour this morning. I'll start with this day's front page. Federal government bows to Labour, shelves plan to end fuel subsidy from July. So from all indications, the President Muhammadu Buhari administration has kicked the can down the road to 2023. So let's say you've become president of Nigeria in 2023 and fuel subsidy is top of your entry. How will you handle this issue?
Well, the thing is, there is always a time to do everything. Right things, do the right thing at the right time, in the right way. Do the right thing at the right time, in the right way. When people are poor, they are hungry, there is a high level of unemployment, poverty, 71% in the country, it may not be the right time to add additional burden on them. But the time does come. We have passed several opportunities when we could have fully deregulated and Nigerians will have absorbed it. But out of lack of foresight or lack of political will or lack of courage, we fail to do it. If we come to become president of Nigeria, we're going to get to the point where there will be no subsidies. In a manner they are now. There will still be subsidies, but the subsidy will be directed to benefiting the underprivileged. Every nation must take care of the poor, the needy, the weak. If you say everybody pay the same rate for everything else, you are cheating, you put some people out of the business. So government must allow those who can afford to pay the right price. And those who cannot afford, government will find a way to subsidize it at the point of consumption. We'll continue to do that, but we're not going to run a system where today if you want to buy medicines, who tells you what price to buy? You want to buy gari, you want to buy rice, who fixes price for you? So this method of fixing price for anything, it's outmoded. All we need to do is to create opportunity to protect the poor, the needy, and then make sure that those who can afford pay the right price and use what they pay even to support those who cannot pay. That's the way it is done all over the world. In America, you go to buy PMS, you see leaded, unleaded, premium. That's the mechanism to absorb, give the poor what they want, and then give the rich also what they want. That's how a country operates.
Anyway, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, and wish you well
Thank you,
in your presidential aspiration. Thank you very much indeed.